Hello, everyone from Chelsea Fan TV. I hope you're all doing very, very well. Welcome back to another episode of the Day After Show, where we talk about everything that happened yesterday against Pafos in our 1-0 win in the Champions League. Do you know what? I was obviously I did a few fan cams. I don't know if you were at the game yesterday, Dharmesh, and Saeed. I didn't see you either, to be fair, but. Like everybody said the same thing to me after this one. They were like, what do we talk about? And I honestly think there's more to speak about than people give that game credit for. But
I think there's a lot to speak about.
Yeah, I think
there is some talking points too. Yeah,
but I see where they're coming from. I see where they're coming from. They might be coming from. So,
I mean, people are basically making the comparison. It's same old, same old. Nothing's changed since Maresca's come in. Still inverting fullbacks. All the rest of it, struggling to score goals. Still passing sideways a lot. So I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to see what you boys think about it, and what everybody else in the comment section and the chat thinks as well. Let us know. Kev will be joining us as well, guys. Will be joining us very, very soon. But I mean, this is one of those episodes. It might not be as long as the other ones because it is Pafos, if I'm being totally honest. You know, like when you have one of those games against like Barrow, and you're like, "Yeah, we won. All right, cool. Now we're playing Arsenal next or whoever." We can speak about that, but you know,
honestly, bro, I think yesterday was a bigger game than people thought as well, because we still had to win. We still had to put ourselves into the top 8. So yeah, fair enough. Like Pafos they're not the most glamorous team ever. They literally came to the bridge and did nothing. But it was still a massive game for us, man. It was still huge in terms of where we go, in terms of the upcoming season and stuff, and whether we finish in the automatic positions of qualifying for Champions League or if we have to sit through a playoff. So I think it's bigger than people think. But obviously, it's opposition. Like had we played, like say, AC Milan, Inter Milan yesterday, then I think it would have got a little bit more hype. But because it's Pafos, like no one really knows Pafos, so yeah. But that's what I think. I thought yesterday was huge, actually, really big for the team and for the manager.
Yeah. No, I mean it was a big win. It was a big win. Like, I'll be honest with you, I was saying this during the match as well. I was saying, like, because my opinion is a little bit different to everyone else. I know what people want to see, especially in the online community. You all want to see us go in, but you may not know this, Dharmesh, even you, Saeed, as well. It's only recently that I've become negative. I've always been the positive guy. You know, I backed all these guys.
I think that's all of us. I think we all got negative after, like...
No, but like, okay, let me, just to be more broad, I defended every single Chelsea manager up until Maresca, including Potter, you know, up until he got...
Why would you defend Potter?
There you go. I was the positive guy.
But to be fair, he was thrown into the Lions. Then I felt bad for him. That was a setup job.
And now we're in a situation where I'm sort of going, oh, fucking hell, here we go. But I'm trying to go into these games in the most level-headed way possible. I also want to say I like Liam. I like him, but he has no aura. He has no, you know, on it. My dad said this to me yesterday. He was like, he looks like a school teacher. I didn't try and provoke her. He just said it to me randomly. I went, fucking hell, you're not even on the online space. You're just a random bloke who likes to watch Chelsea every week. And if he's saying it, then, you know, the whole PE comparison, it's actually very accurate. But yeah, I want Liam to do well. I want him to do well. And I've said two things. I said that I think we'll be more attractive to watch with Rafinha than we were with Maresca, and I think you'll see more individual moments. And as it stands right now, we are seeing more individual moments, but I don't think we're as attractive. But it's too early to say in that sense. It is too early. I don't actually think the performance was as bad as everyone else did. So I'm really intrigued to see what your take is on this, guys. My opinion is just that our finishing is poor, but we create so many opportunities. So when you're creating a lot, we only conceded one big chance, really, and they hit the post. It was a great bit of play, actually. I thought Pafos built up superb. We should have probably found them on the build-up. But actually, if I'm looking at the performance as a whole, the chances we created, the lack of chances we conceded, I can't really say too much else other than I wish we'd have scored more goals. I mean, that's the big disappointment for me, because it's very rare that you watch any team play against someone that's parking the bus and it's entertaining. It's not, because you've got one team trying to play and you've got one team that's just trying to survive. So I don't know what games we're referring to, unless it's like Arsenal when one of their players got sent off, was it last season, and they went and just parked the bus at the Etihad. That was fun to watch, but that was like, it was the context and everything. This is Pafos. So, I mean, I'll just start with you, Dharmesh. Like, how did you feel as you were watching the game in it and it unraveled? And like, what's your overall takeaway? And then we can obviously dive into more specific.
Yeah, I mean, I echo like pretty much what you've just said in terms of I didn't think we played as bad as people thought, but it was kind of one of those where we expected the scoreline to be more. I expected Pafos to lose by at least 3 or 4 goals, and obviously we up our goal difference, but we did enough to create those chances. We just didn't take them. I mean, Hato had a great chance end of the first half from what I remember. Obviously, Enzo had the disallowed goal. Neto had a couple of like crosses here, attempted crosses here and there.
Caicedo had a massive chance as well.
Yeah, Caicedo as well. Yeah, thanks side for that. And yeah, I mean, expectations were there, sort of us to get the early goal. I think had we got that early goal, I think we would have pushed on to make it 3 or 4, because I think Pafos would have come out a little bit more. But the fact that they had the confidence to stay 0-0 up until that long, it was kind of like, oh, okay, it's gonna be a bit of a 1-goal game, to be honest with you now. So yeah, and as I said before, it was just a massive win. Like, we just had to win regardless, just to get us into the automatic promotion spots and stuff. But I thought the performance overall was good. We nullified any sort of threat that Pafos had, or I don't remember anything they did apart from hit the post, really, from what you mentioned before, which is good little play from them. But we pretty much stopped everything that they tried to do, and the onus was on us to break them down, which we struggled to do. And I know obviously it came from a corner, came from a corner and stuff. But hey, but so sometimes shit happens like that, where you struggle to break teams down and you have to find a way. And we did find a way in the end. But yeah, a lot of missed chances. The wingers I thought were terrible yesterday. Garnacho and Neto, and it was seemingly obvious of what we were trying to do in terms of forcing it through the middle, playing through the middle so much to the point where it was Pafos figured out what we were trying to do. They brought on extra midfielders to try and solidify the middle. Even when we tried to go out wide, Garnacho and Neto weren't really beating their wingers, to be honest with you. And it was only until like Esteval came on, really, and that's where the spark sort of happened for us and things started to open up a little bit in terms of creativity. So yeah, overall, I expected us to win, to be honest with you. But I just wish it was by more, as you said, just to build that confidence with the team, get players like Delap scoring again, get João Pedro scoring, get Esteval on the score sheet again when he came, like if he had started and stuff. So yeah, I mean, if we look in the context of the Champions League, the main thing is for us to qualify. That's it. Where obviously there's implications of other games coming up and stuff and what this means. But if we're solely looking at yesterday's game, but we definitely did enough to win the game, and we should have won by more.
What's your take on it, Said?
Well, people, I know they're going to be saying that this was a boring game, but this was one of those games where I don't care if we put in a boring performance to get me all 3 points. Because before that game, I think we were on about 10 points and we were sitting 14th in the table. Look, we were behind Newcastle, Dortmund, Liverpool, and of course, Liverpool and Newcastle, they both had a game in hand. And now the fact that we're sitting in 8th is massive. There was times, now that I'm looking at the way Liam Rossino wants to play, we used to play out from the back and go to the wingers and then work it inside. It's actually the opposite now. We're working it through the middle and trying to work it out wide. The issue is we have probably 2 of the worst 1v1 wingers in the Premier League. Like they're so bad. It's shocking. And I like Neto and I like Garnacho when we play against a team that's going to press us very high up. For example, PSG. For example, Barcelona. These guys, when there's space, when there's green space for these guys to run into, They're very effective. But when it comes to dealing with a low block, you need players like Esteban to unlock that. And we saw it when he came on. From the first minute, he had a, I don't know how he even got that shot on target, but do you not remember that volley that he done with his weak foot?
Yeah, from Enzo's pass, I think that was, yeah.
That was ridiculous. Literally, I was thinking, boy, this kid is just a joke. Like, and then that little Badiashile back heel that he done for Esteban, like the game completely changed when he came on. But this was one of those games where you have to win. It was a must-win game. And before, maybe under Enzo Maresca, maybe times before, I'd say to myself, this is typical Chelsea. We're gonna lose this game, or we're gonna draw this game, or we're gonna make a meal out of it, and then we're gonna be going into that last game with like everything to play for, and perhaps not even get the top 8. But now we've put ourselves in a good position. We have to beat Napoli, and yeah, we have to win our next game and just not play those 2 extra games. I don't think people understand playing those 2 extra games are going to hurt us in the Premier League. Like, it's going to hurt us massively. It's going to hurt our chances. We've got a hard run of fixtures coming in later on. I think we've got United and City back to back. So the less games, the better.
I think it's interesting as well. For N7G, he says pressure on already with that type of performance. I don't really understand why there would be pressure when you won the game. I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? It's all about. Rossini said it's all about winning, and people are going, "Well, he's been shy." I'm not defending him, but what I am saying is he's played 4, and he's won 3. I mean, it could be a lot worse. And
I don't care how he plays, just win the game. These are some of the games, Alex. You've been a Chelsea fan long enough to know that these sort of games, you're not going to get, unless you score a goal early doors. That team is not going to come out of their 18-yard box. They're just going to be camping there. It's going to be very hard.
I think a lot of people don't realize as well. It's 4 different competitions as well that Rossini's had his first 4 games in this, and there's different contexts to every single game.
Exactly.
Where obviously tonight, yesterday night was must win in terms of the league table of the Champions League. The Premier League table was obviously different, and it was a must win. Although we obviously every game is must win, but going into the Arsenal game, well, for me anyway, it was about a matter of not losing or keeping the score down, if that makes sense, or having a chance in the second leg for me. And then Charlton was obviously get the business done, get the job done, and put on a good performance, which we did. So there's there's context to different games, and that's what people don't realize as well. 4 different competitions, first 4 games.
And also him coming in to play against Arsenal, who's probably, as much as we don't want to say it, probably the best team in Europe right now, and probably the best defensive team in Europe right now. It's a hard task for him to come in and try doing something against that team, even if it is at the Bridge.
And we're giving ourselves a chance next leg. And obviously, we obviously know how great they've been this season and stuff, and it's unlikely we'll go through, but we've given ourselves a chance to go to the Emirates and put in a special performance, for Liam Rossini to stamp his name on this Chelsea managerial job and be the man, basically.
So we're all in agreement then that it's not as bad as everyone thinks, or is there anything you think, you know what, this is a bit worrying, this? Because I mean, you can still speak about the performance as well. It's definitely relevant, because you go, there was moments where Pafos had the ball, and I was thinking, man, like, these guys are just, they played some good football. I mean, I'm not talking about creating chances, but just some of the triangles, the way we defended at times, I was like, okay, this isn't particularly convincing.
We're a lot more open though, Alex. You have to bear that in mind compared to them. So, like, they are literally camping on the edge of their box. It's very hard to break a team down and find triangles there without being offside.
My point being that against a better team, though, they'll be able to capitalize on the opportunities that Pafos couldn't. And if that's how we are going to play, then why wouldn't even an Arsenal, to be fair, at times, why wouldn't you just sit back and counter? You can do it very effectively, and we're rubbish at set pieces as well, especially defending them. So, you know, that's another point I want to look for. But let's dive into more of the specifics then. We've spoken about the wingers. Charlie said the same thing as you, Said, as well, about Garnacho and Neto. Lewis has said the same thing. You know, that he doesn't want to see them together. They shouldn't play together. And maybe it would be good to give people a bit of context as to why. Why can't those 2 wingers play together?
I'll tell you why. Because they're cut from the same cloth. They're 2 quite fast wingers that work, especially Neto, who works very, very hard. But to the, how can I say, the casual that doesn't watch Chelsea week in, week out, like us guys, yeah, when you see Pedro Neto's pace and you see how hard he's working, you probably think to yourself, this guy's very good, but he plays it very safe. And there's a saying, you can't have a bad game if you always play it safe. When it comes to wingers, I don't know how you lot like to see your wingers, but me, I like to see my wingers very direct, very risk-takey, and, you know, make things happen, create chaos, make sure that you get past your first man, you beat your fullback so that the centre-back has to come and make a decision. That's how you open up the game. That's why we struggle with low blocks. Like back in the day, you could try doing that with a low block, but you had to deal with Eden Hazard. I don't care. Like, what are you going to do with a guy like that? You can play a low block as much as you want, but he'll force you lot to make a decision, that second defender to make a decision. Same thing with Garnacho. And another thing about Pedro Neto, he doesn't look up. I feel so bad for any striker that plays with these two guys because they've just got their head down. Honestly, it's like, I don't know, man. It's like they're Tom and they're chasing Jerry and the ball's Jerry. They're just looking down. Like that's all they're doing. And it's very hard as a striker to sort of anticipate what Pedro Neto's going to do, because there was a passage of play. I don't know. I wish I took a photo of it, but Pedro Neto could have put that ball in first time with his weak foot across the ground to Garnacho. But then he cut it back and then he put the ball in. It was an overhit ball. Then Garnacho was just fuming. That just goes to show you, these guys, they're just very indecisive in the final third. Pedro Neto, the amount of times he can do that ball first time, but he just has no belief in his right foot. The amount of times that he cuts back and cuts back and cuts back, by then delapses in an offside position, or his momentum going in for the cross has been killed because he has to come back now. Our fluidity in that final third is so poor on so many levels. And like I said, I don't mind Pedro Neto playing and Garnacho playing together when we have to sit back and we have to play against a PSG or a Barcelona where we know we're going to be pinned back a bit, boys. But when it comes to breaking a team down, I want to see Esteban on that pitch. I know he's 18 years old, but we deserve to see him for more than 40, 30 minutes a game. Like, let the kid start. He's got so much potential.
I agree. I agree with. I mean, to be honest, I agree with the whole Garnacho Neto things in terms of the dribbling. I'm trying to figure out all of the stats. So I'll get that for you in a second. But
I think Garnacho was the second worst dribbler last season in the Premier League.
Garnacho is definitely one of the worst dribblers I've ever seen. No doubt about that. But for me, it's like, what else does he offer? And when you see him come off the bench against Arsenal, even like the Newcastle game, which was one of the most frustrating things you'll ever see.
Not a chance he had.
This is the thing, though. It's a skill just to be able to get yourself in a position to score the chances, because you've got a lot of players where you go, you're just totally isolated. I look at Jamie Gittins as a great example. Doesn't get himself involved in the play enough. Often looks isolated. Often, for me, doesn't get stuck in. All right, that's what I want to see. And Garnacho's the polar opposite. You might not like what you see, but I'd rather have someone who gets involved than someone who doesn't get involved and just looks good, at the odd moment. That's the thing that Garnacho brings you. Neto's obviously a better dribbler. I think we saw that yesterday. Neto's dribbling was actually pretty good at times. I thought he drove quite well at players, put in a couple of really, really dangerous balls, and was actually a threat. I mean, the criticism that we see with Neto, I think a lot of it is kind of forced, if I'm honest with you. Like, I understand the criticism of Garnacho more because he's basically doing what he was doing at United at Chelsea. Although I would say that he's more suited in a lot of ways to a style of play like what we're trying to do, where you're going to create more chances. And that means that hopefully your average increases, it gets better, you score more goals. I don't know what the average is. I don't know how many he scored for the shots. I don't know that information, but I personally don't have a problem with either of them. I think they're both capable squad players. In fact, I think that Neto is more than capable of starting regularly. That's not been an issue for me. But I want to see Esteban play. I'm in that camp as well. I want to see him play. I do think that a player like Esteban and Garnacho would complement each other. I'd say that with Neto as well. Neto and Esteban, if you move Esteban to the left, which I'm also not opposed to either. He's very, very capable of doing it on that side. We haven't seen enough either of him playing in the 10.
Do you remember when we had Pedro for that 2016-17 season? With Diego Costa and Hazard in that sort of like front three under Antonio Conte. Do you remember how different of a winger Pedro was compared to Hazard? Hazard was a guy that wanted the ball to his feet. Pedro was a guy that didn't really want the ball too early. He was making runs in behind. So in that sense, where you're saying, Alex, that like Garnacho gets into great positions, yes, and him combined probably with Esteban would work very well. Do I want Garnacho a long time at the club? No, but like I think him and Esteban would be a much better partnership in those wide positions. But you could tell me your opinion if you agree with that.
I mean, look, for me, I'm not like massively fussed about either of them, but I agree you've got to have different profiles. That for me is a certainty. It's like, when people say, oh, this guy and that guy, and they were in title-winning teams. I'm not being specific to anyone. Let's just look at Willian as an example. I think Willian's a good player.
Willian, actually, yeah.
I did make a comparison, which I will retract. Actually, I think it was probably wrong. I was a bit carried away. I said that Neto's better than Willian.
I think I was on the show last time when you said that.
Yeah,
I don't remember actually. Yeah,
that was very inconsistent, but no.
That was a poor take.
I think in terms of stylistically, I can see why you said that, because I have that same
is, Dharmesh, as well. It's like you put Pedro Neto in that Chelsea squad of the Conte season, for example. Conte would be all over that. He would love Pedro Neto, runner, and then you've got Hazard on the other side. They complement each other, right? So it's not saying that he's a bad player. It's just the profiles that you want to see. It's like, so to be honest, it's like when you go on a show. You got one guy who's really loud. You got another guy who's maybe a bit quiet. You'll have someone else who's analytical and someone who doesn't know what they're talking about. Speaking of which, welcome to the show, Kev.
Hey, you're definitely the one that fucking ain't got a clue what you're on about. Fucking Pedro Neto and Willian.
It's just the timing
as well. I'll be honest, I don't know what you were thinking that day.
Bro,
that's why Alex is the best host, guys.
Some of these new style Chelsea fans, bro. Some of the stuff I watch on them, just like fucking hell. I don't know what you've watched or what you witnessed, but to compare Neto to Willian, bro,
I was carried away.
I was getting carried away. Part Neto couldn't even clean. Neto couldn't even put his studs in Willian's boots. Nevertheless, take him out the squad, bro. And
I can name probably 10 wingers. I can name 10 wingers that have played in Chelsea. Yeah. 10 wingers that have played at Chelsea are probably better than Pedro.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Just off the top of my head.
No, my point was, when I was hyping Neto up, is that he was underappreciated, and I think I might have overstepped a little bit. I don't retract my statement that I believe Neto could be part of a title-winning team. I stand by that 100%. Yeah. He's the kind of player that can get in a title-winning side if you play, like we said, with someone else on the other side that can complement him and you allow him to do what he's good at. He gets enough goals. He gets enough assists as it stands. He's improving. He's been one of our better players in terms of converting chances, in terms of actually getting GA. You add the defensive side and the work rate, and I think he's a part of the spine. I don't think anyone can disagree with that. Best player in the Club World Cup.
Pedro Neto.
He's improved.
You know what it is? I think with Neto, you have to have the right system for him. And under Maresca, it wasn't the right system.
True.
In Wolves' system, under Nuno Santos, counter-attacking. And that's where we've seen against the likes of PSG in the Club World Cup, when he was coming from deep and running in behind, he looks brilliant. But when he's in that final third, I think I heard... what's it? Oh, don't tell me his name now. In the middle, Saeed. I got it. I heard Saeed say, too much messing about and into the final third. When your striker makes that run back post, just get the ball in the box, man. Stop thinking about cutting in, cutting out, cutting in. I think there was a time last season when I seen him play. I think it was against Forest. I think it was last game of the season when the geezer stopped the ball dead and was just doing step overs. That. What is all this about? Like, we need direct wingers. We need our wingers to stop messing about. And just, I believe that it's not entirely their fault. we are looking for a profiler striker that, and the people keep mocking me, and I will keep saying his name. Someone like, someone big with a presence. I'm not going to say his name. You know what I'm going to say.
Chris Wood.
Yeah. Someone big with a presence. Not Chris Wood, but someone of that mold. Mateta right now.
Like that dimension of a footballer you're talking about. Those dimensions.
Mateta right now is going to Juventus, I believe. 6'6", can look after himself, can drop deep. He's good in the air. When you're a winger, and I ain't saying I play Premier League football, but I've played with decent enough strikers at decent enough levels. When you're playing with a striker who's good in the air, you do not hesitate to get that ball in the box. When you've got the lap, he wants to time his runs to get into the box. He's not there. You understand what I mean? So when you look up and you've got, okay, Enzo scored out of a header yesterday, as I believe, but he got disallowed. When you look into the box and you've got Enzo in the box, are you really going to swing that ball into the mix? If you've got a Chris Wood or Mateta in the box, who's already standing on that last man, are you going to hesitate to whip that ball in? No, you're not. You're going to look up, bang, get the ball in the box. So I don't believe it's fully Neto's fault. I just feel like the caliber of strikers that we brought in the Pedro and the Lap, don't really suit a team who want to get the ball in the box. And I think I've seen it on the Don Robbie Media, DR Media. We crossed in the first half. I think it was 25 crosses in the first half, I believe we had.
Yeah.
Yeah. And not to score off one cross.
Kev, it's because by the time they cross it, the opportunity is gone. They wait, they delay, and then everybody's static. Like, for example, if you're making a run into the box and I can cross that ball first time, it's gonna get to you. But if I pull it back, now you're in an offside position, you have to come back, and then I delay. You're not going to anticipate that.
It's also coaching as well. I think it's also a coaching thing as well, where you see wingers nowadays, even some of the ones in the Prem, like it's not often you see a direct winger run down the wing and whip a ball in. They're always.
It's only Jacob Murphy that I see do it week in, week out. It's only Jacob Murphy that I see.
Yeah,
that's it. And then obviously you've got Walter in the box.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, Alex talks about Walter. This is what I'm trying to say about the planning, the strategic ideas. When you want to formulate a style of football, you have to have the players. And when I don't believe it's a problem, 25 crosses in the first half is enough for me to suggest that we're getting the ball in the right area. But what I'm witnessing from it is we haven't got someone to get the end of it. A Walter Maida,
right? Let's
Chris Wood.
I mean, I know we're talking about strike. Which, to be fair, Kev, you just came in, but we were talking about Garnacho as well, and Neto, and how basically they can't play together. Do you agree with that, Kev?
Garnacho and Neto.
Yeah, because the profile's too similar. That's the argument.
So both of them playing on each wing. So Garnacho on the left, Neto on the right.
Yeah.
I can't believe we're even talking about Garnacho in the conversation at Chelsea anyway.
It's what it is. We're stuck with him, man.
Let's just be real here, boys.
Let's try and be analytical here, Kev.
Yeah, I'm trying my best to pick positives from stuff, but they're
it doesn't have to be positive, just level-headed, you know?
Yeah. They're just level-headed. They're nowhere near. Neto, I feel like he's playing in the wrong system. I think he's more suited to a counter-attacking team. With Garnacho, wow.
But Kev, like you can't expect you can't play for Chelsea if you're a one-dimensional winger. I'm sorry. If you're just able to play in a counter-attacking team, like you're not good enough. I'm sorry. That's just so awful. That's like being a striker and only being able to play off the shoulder and not being able to link up play. That's just, you cannot have that. That's disgusting if that's the case.
Yeah.
I actually think like the best thing Garnacho probably did was defensively, probably going back. There was a couple of times where he won the ball. I said to my mate next to me, I was like, literally, like, apart from winning the ball back twice, what's Garnacho actually done? And then, boys, do you remember that cross yesterday? In the first half, I think it was, where I think either Neto played it across the box or Enzo, and then Garnacho was coming onto it, and then he just sort of scuffed it, and it almost went up for a throw. I don't know if you boys remember that in sort of the first
I remember
half.
The one where I don't know, like he should have like cut in. The ball got played to him by Reece
It
James.
got played to him. It was like sort of going back post, and then Garnacho was onto it. Then he tried to volley it, half volley it, and then it just went. It literally just
Yeah, I
went.
remember
Like,
that.
it went
I
horribly,
remember
horribly wrong.
Can
I
I
Way.
remember
show?
that.
They had a brilliant chance as well. I think it was like in the 50-something minute when the ball got
Yeah,
squared
the
to him
block.
and he just hit it straight to the keeper.
Yeah,
I
Not
mean,
clinical enough,
and the
boys.
blocked it as well.
I mean,
And
we
obviously-
can't just blame Garnacho for the lack of clinical finishing. I think there was a number of chances we could have scored. By the way, like, have we had any clarity on that Enzo Fernandez goal? Because I didn't see anything wrong. Was it?
Pushing the back,
I think it was
pushing
just
the
a
back.
push at the back. That's it. We've seen those given. To be fair,
But was it? Was it
I've seen
clear?
them given. I've seen them not given. It just depends on the referee that day.
Was
to
it
be fair.
clear?
well, when I first saw it, because I was also obviously row A, so I was quite close to it and stuff. My initial thought was it was a fact. Like you've seen those given. It's one of those annoying ones where you can see why it was sort of why it was given a foul, but at the same time, it's very soft. Like,
If that
so
ball comes over the top and your hand touches your back, it's a foul. Simple as
it's
that.
a foul, basically. Yeah, but
And
his
hand did-
Shall I be honest? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, even if it's a tiny guy pushing a big guy, when you're in the air, you're movable. Like, any push in the back is just like, it will move you. It will completely take you away from the ball. So I see why it's given, because without that push, he'd have that ball. So fair enough.
Just on Enzo as well. I thought you played well yesterday as well.
You
Enzo
thought
was
Enzo was
great.
all right.
I thought he was good. I thought he was probably the only one, I guess, in the first half that was trying to make things happen. I mean, he was battling for every ball in the corner as well. There was times where he picked up the ball in the left wing, and he took on.
He had quite a free role, didn't he?
He did, yeah. And I think that's the key with the low block as well. Trying to get the best out of Enzo as well in terms of his own game as well. I think this advanced position for him as well was really helping him. Obviously, it was unfortunate the goal was disallowed, but those sort of runs that he was making last season and getting a lot of GA for us can prove handy for us. And yeah, he looks a bit more fitter now, a bit sharper as well. Hopefully, the Caicedo and James midfield partnership will help him as well in terms of less defensive responsibility as well. But I thought he was lively yesterday, Enzo, and he's one of the more sort of important players for us in terms of breaking down the low blocks and getting those GA for us.
So you're
And
a
they
fan
played
of
important
Enzo.
as well, sorry. Yeah.
You think? Do you look at him and feel like, right, this is a guy that we can count on? We need to, do everything we can to give him.
No. Enzo's not consistent.
Well, I know you don't rate. I know you don't rate Enzo's side. I don't even know what you think.
I do rate him. I think, like, on his day, he's ridiculous. Like, he's a joke. But I'm sorry, he doesn't do it on a consistent basis enough. He'll put in a 9. He'll put in a 9. He'll put in a 9, then a 6, then a 6, then a 9, then a 6, then a 5, then a 9. Like, he's too inconsistent. I'm not seeing it week in, week out to the same
I just
level.
think it depends who he's playing with at the same time, because as I sort of mentioned, like, just now, like, I think if Caicedo has someone like a Reece James or Santos next to him, then that means Enzo's obviously push a bit more forward and stuff, and that will mean less defensive responsibilities. But then when we sort of seen Enzo lack of performance is probably when he's had more defensive responsibility, whether that's being next to Caicedo.
When he's in that pivot, it's much harder for him, because that's just not his game. I'll be honest. Even when he was at the World Cup, like, it was DePaul sitting in, and it was like McAllister, and you guys know the engine that McAllister has. He's a proper box to box, and then it was Enzo. Like, they had a good unit there. So
it's all about balance, isn't it? That's just what it is. I think we have more balance with obviously Caicedo, James, or Caicedo and Santos in midfield, and obviously, like, but it looks like now Enzo is going to be the backup. The backup number 10 for us. It looks like. Let's see. I don't know with obviously the transfer, the stuff that came out today. So yeah.
On Enzo, like, I feel like we're running Enzo and Caicedo to the ground. Is that, like, we will earlier? I wasn't on my phone for the last 4 hours, but earlier I saw something about Douglas Luiz. Is there anything that's?
I reckon it's
concrete.
Real.
Yeah. Is it concrete?
I think it's just whether he goes back to Villa. Obviously, like Villa, where his prefer, like, he started off at Villa. That's where he really made his name for himself. They're obviously doing better than us in the league, but obviously we got the Champions League pool, we got the London pool as well. So. Whether he wants to come to us, it'd be decent depth for us, but does that mean there's something wrong with Lavian and the
Lavia's finished, man. Lavia's finished, bro.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I wouldn't say he's finished. He's 21 or 22.
Nah, I'm not saying he's finished, but come on, man. We've got to be real here, bro. He's been here 3 seasons. He hasn't played the full 90 minutes yet. What the hell are we still doing?
Yeah, as
What we're
sad
doing
as it is, yeah. I mean,
That's true. He
Yeah,
has
Look,
played
you know what it
21.
is. We all know we love you. Like, look, man. I actually think he's a top player. The way he can, pick the balls up in tricky areas and turn the sixpence and drive forward and play forward passes, and his reading of the game is exceptional, etc., etc. But 3 years, not 190 minutes. We've got to look to other options now.
Yeah,
And
I wouldn't feel bad about it. But the thing is, with me and Lavia, I just feel like Lavia has the potential to be one of the best holding midfielders in the world. Like, I think he's that good, and I think a lot of you boys will agree with me. When we see him on the pitch, it's just like we look like a different team. Like, you can try to press Chelsea, you're not going to press him.
He's solid.
Like, he's just a
Brilliant.
joke, and the fact that he's had performances like this at the age of 21, it's just like, wow.
makes our defense.
So what
better.
about Andre Santos then? What was the point even bringing him back? Because I'm sure we've got enough cover. Because obviously James can cover the central areas.
No, but Andre Santos, James wasn't initially meant to play centre mid this season. He was going to be playing.
I think that's the beauty of it, isn't it? Is that now that we don't have Lavia and Asugo, I think James is the perfect void to come in. I mean, I'm glad that they're going to look at a player like Douglas Luiz. I'm not opposed to a loan like that, by the way. I don't think that's a bad. I don't think that's a bad option.
Exactly. What happens if Reece James goes down, boys? Like,
yeah, we're done.
No, but this is the thing, though. Like we've, and this is where Maresca needs some credit. I mean, I am all for James in that midfield to give you a little bit more punch. Because as a fullback, we can all agree you don't need to be as skilled to be a fullback as you do to be a midfielder. That's my personal opinion. As a midfielder, you got more responsibility. You're more important in the build-up. You're important in the transitions, and you can't make mistakes in that area because it will cost your team. If Gusto gives the ball away on the right-hand side, it's a lot easier to cover because they're out wide. Your central areas, that's where the problems occur. So as long as we got James playing in that midfield, for me, I haven't got a big issue with it. I mean, I was excited to see Asugo come in. I am also a big fan of Andre Santos. I think that's one of the good things about Rosinha is like we're going to find out whether Santos can do it or not, whether he can consistently perform.
Santos has a lot of qualities about him. I'll be honest.
You don't think he has qualities? I would disagree with that. I would disagree with that. He strikes me as well, from the little I've seen from him, he strikes me as a Jorginho with a little bit more to his locker. The guy can slow the tempo down. He can control the game. And he has got goals in him if you want them. That's the beauty of Lavia. Is he plays deep, but he can go further.
Lavia or Santos?
Sorry, Santos.
Okay. Santos, no. I don't think Santos is anywhere near Jorginho's level, to be honest. I think Jorginho was far more
I'm not saying
superior.
the level. I'm saying that the way he plays, it has a similarity.
Okay. But the thing is,
you look at Jorginho, mate, and what do you see? Can pass well, pretty good defensively. Leader, penalty, that's just a bonus. Like, he doesn't have much else to his game. I look at Santos and I see that, but I see a little bit more on top of it. The guy can have a pop outside the box. He can create. He can go up further up the pitch. And yeah, he's not proven like Jorginho is, but I think that he's got the signs.
Yeah, but what's the main thing and the most important thing, which is the difference between both of them, and one thing that Andre Santos can't buy? Leadership. And that's it. Jorginho was a leader in that middle of that park.
He's 21. Jorginho,
yeah,
was
of course.
But
what I'm getting to is there's no comparison when it comes, and this is what we need, someone like that in the middle. Jorginho so many times dug us out when we're under pressure. He'd be seeing him dragging players here, dragging players there. Santos is not giving you that, irrespective of his age. He's not giving you that. So
that's where James is a positive, because he does that, mate. He does it himself. Forget about leadership in terms of technical. He takes it by the scruff of the neck. He did that against Arsenal when we got the red card. He did that. He was fun. Was it? I think it was Arsenal, wasn't it? Yeah, it was fantastic in that game.
The league.
Like, there was a period where James was an animal. And I mean, he was getting played so much by Maresca. It was like, how can you drop the guy? He's been unstoppable. I don't know.
Remember James as a wing back when he was like chesting it down and smacking it in against Juventus, and he was just like toying with Newcastle's defense and putting it top bins with his left foot. Like, that was, in my opinion, I think Reece James at his best is far better as a wing back, because what he gives you in that final third is decisiveness. I think he is a better passer than both of our wingers in the final third.
Absolutely. No, I'm with you on that. I'm a fan of him in the midfield for the reason that he gives you cover for Caicedo, he gives you bite, and if that's going to be a position that's actually, you know, he can play consistently, then that's why I'm happy with James in the midfield. But having said that, I think we'll see a little bit more carnage with Rafinha. I don't think we're there yet, but I think it will open up more as.
Apparently, he's only had 4 training sessions. Is that true, boys? Only 4 training sessions with the boys, 4 or 5.
What, Rafinha?
Yeah,
Yeah, because we've had a game every sort of 3 days, haven't we? So it kind of makes sense.
that's actually crazy to think about it. Like,
because
he's
literally our
never going to
January
be.
schedule's mad. Like we have games every 3 or 4 days. Obviously, we're still in full competitions, aren't we? So yeah,
That's why that game yesterday was such a must-win, because we'd have 2 more games to play, which were do or die games. So we don't need that. Imagine if Enzo or Caicedo go down injured because we got ourselves into that position of that that knockout stage, the playoff stage in the Champions League. Like if we beat Napoli convincingly and we get into that top 8, people are going to look back at this game and say, wow, thank God we didn't have to play those 2 games. Because like last season, boys, I don't think you realize what happened in the league. I've got it right here. Let me show you in the Champions League. So last season, Atalanta, they came 9th in the round of 16. They came 9th because 1 point off top, 1 point off 8th. Yeah, when they went into the not a playoff stages, they were much better than Club Brugge, but they lost to Club Brugge. They got kicked out. Same thing happened with Juventus. They didn't qualify, and guess what? They had to play PSV. They beat them comfortably at their ground 2-1. They go to PSV's ground, they get spanked 3-1. They get knocked out. Like, it's unpredictable, and you do not want to put yourself into that position of those 2 games. Like, just forget about it. Just try to get rid of it, because there's also some good teams. Like, we saw Manchester City get knocked out in that stage as well by Real Madrid last year. You don't want to do that.
I think that's why we're going for Douglas Luiz as well. If we do hypothetically have those 2 extra fixtures, then obviously I'm assuming he'll play. So if we do sign him, he'll have some sort of involvement in terms of getting the team across the line and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, there was one positive in that midfield as well. Although I agree. I think Enzo was certainly trying to make things happen, but I thought Caicedo was everywhere, and he was the real attacking threat. About 4 big shots, big moments. Got the goal with the header as well. I mean, I think that Caicedo has always been underrated in terms of what he can do on the ball, but. You know, one thing, like if we're looking at Jorginho, the amount of times I was behind the goal and we would say shoot, and we knew it was going to happen. And now we have a midfield who's happy to have a pop, mate. Caicedo has one of the best shots I've seen in a long time, mate, for a player in that position as well.
Honestly, would you boys agree with he probably has the best shot in our team in terms of long range shooting?
I've seen Reece James do some stupid things with the ball.
Yeah,
I've seen Reece do
Caicedo probably got the most powerful shot. I'd say. 100%. Yeah, he's got a rocket.
Tight, actually.
Man, look at his goal against Brentford. There's not many players in the game of football with that with that backlift. You could take one step and hit the ball with that much power. That takes I can't think of anyone in that team. Nobody.
Palmer can do it from a set piece, but I don't know if he can do it in the way that Caicedo does it.
Most definitely got the most powerful shot. I'm not quite sure about the best long range, but
powerful. Yeah, no, I think you're probably right. It probably is Caicedo.
He scores some right rockets.
Yeah,
that's another thing that's left the game as well. Have you not realized that's left the game? Like when I was growing up, midfielders always used to strike the ball from outside the box.
Go watch best Premier League goals, man. You know that the old on Sky Sports and stuff, man. Like some of the goal of the contenders were unreal, but just on Caicedo, man, was so.
The thing, though, the reason why you're not seeing enough of it is because the way football's been coached from grassroots upwards, and it's more passy, position-based football. And like I said, I'm a coach, and I'm just going back to basics for the players I'm coaching now. Cross the ball, long shots, first-time shots. I want to see football how it was 20 years ago. Since Guardiola's coming to football, it's completely changed the face of football. And you're not seeing midfielders taking shots now. What would you rather do? The look up and they'd rather pass it because it's in the head now. Just the way they've been coached growing up. So it's good to see Caicedo. Look at the goal he scored the back end of last season. He scored from the halfway line and that. And you don't, when you look at him, you don't, because his hard work and how much he breaks play up and the tackles, the interceptions and everything else he brings to the game, you don't really see him as a player that can, he's literally got the lot. Caicedo, he's an all-rounder because he can shoot, he can pass, he can break up. The guy's just absolutely amazing. And you can see when he's in that team, Chelsea really look a total different team. And I mean that even more than Palmer when he's in the team, even when James is. I believe that Caicedo is the most important player in this team. 100%.
We can't lose him. Yeah, we can't lose him.
100.
And that's
He
and we
really
need
is.
to. We're just so blessed to have him. And honestly, like, whatever the price tag was, 100 mil, 150 mil,
Yeah.
whatever it was for him, it's a bargain. Honestly, for what we I've seen of him and what we've had of him. Even I guess on the potch, I didn't think he was terrible on the potch as well. I thought he was still okay on the potch. I mean, we saw good performances, but he's taken it to another level since then. Since obviously Maresca was here now, Rafinha, and he's definitely becoming more of a leader now as well. So yeah, man, I just pray that this guy just doesn't get injured and run to the ground like Kante did. I just hope we learn from before to look after him as much as we can. Obviously, he's our most important player, so he can play most games, but we do have to look after him as well at the same time and give him that sort of rest or that break. I mean, he probably gets all the breaks on the suspensions anyway, but yeah.
Maybe that's why he gets all the cards, Tomesh, because he's desperate for a break.
That's it, exactly. Yeah.
It's like Neymar, isn't it? He always get injured around, was it his cousin's birthday or his sister's birthday or something?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That does tend to happen, actually. Yeah.
Do you remember when Neymar had like a clause where they'd have to at Barcelona where they have to fly out his friends or something, and then he'd be allowed to party?
Oh, that would probably be like Saudi, mate. Saudi, the amount of things they had in that contract.
No, it was at Barcelona apparently.
Oh, it was at Barcelona. I don't know. Well, actually, back in those days, Barcelona did have money, or they were spending it recklessly, but they did have it. So maybe it was. But his contract in Saudi was he had like 5 house staff. He had unlimited amount of trips on a private jet, biggest house you can imagine. Like mate, I actually think it gets to a point where you have so much you don't get anything. You don't get a buzz out of life. But what at that point? What is the enjoyment? I'm not really sure I see it.
Well, he gambles a lot with Eubank Jr. That's what I've seen him do. He gambles a lot with Eubank Jr. Maybe that's his thrill. Huh?
He's a gambler, is he?
Yeah. He's a bit of a gambler. Apparently, like he owed Eubank Jr. money, or Eubank Jr. owed him money or something. Like owed him money or something. But that's true when you think about it, like having that much money. Like I wouldn't be surprised if Neymar's like. I think he'll be a billionaire by in his 40s. Like he's got so much money, it's ridiculous. He's a brand himself.
I don't know. Let us know in the chat if you know anything. Also, I saw something in the chat about Chelsea don't want an obligation to buy Douglas Luiz, only a loan deal. But I haven't seen that on Fabrizio's page. I haven't seen that anywhere, so I'm not entirely sure how true that is. But I can imagine.
How do you feel about talking about transfers? How do you feel about all these whispers going around Cole Palmer, Man United?
I think it's a load of rubbish. Ben Jacobs came out today and said it's a load of rubbish. Most likely,
I believe it. I believe it a lot.
You believe
Man United?
No. Let me just
explain. He wants to go to Man United.
There's 2 reasons. Body language from Palmer. Not getting good signs at all.
His body language is always like that,
the injury could be playing, but this season not getting good signs at all. Man United get Champions League, we don't. He's Man United's fan, all his family are. He's already said in interviews that London's too much traffic, this and that. He probably wants to go back to Manchester to be around family.
Like 2.5, 3 years, wouldn't he have left already if that was the case?
I said this a couple of years ago. With this project, are players starting to buy into it now? Like he's been here 3 seasons. Is he buying into what way we want to go? I don't think he is, and it's the same Enzo. And I said it. These players will think, "What the fuck's going on here?" Like, how many managers are going to keep changing? How many mid players are they keep bringing in? And before you know it, they're going to run out. And I think that Cole Palmer, I think his head's turned. I think if they bring in a good manager and they get Champions League and they put a bid in, I think he's gone, mate.
I don't agree with that at all, mate. Because we've got him on a long-term deal. The guy's got no power.
Doesn't matter. If you want out, he'll have out. And the thing is, look, we only signed him for 43 million pounds. We signed him for.
They couldn't care less about making a player happy. It's all about what suits them, mate. That's the reality. Also, you got to remember, Cole Palmer. Let's say we did sell Cole Palmer. That gets rid of any pull that we have for other players because you're selling your star. I mean, maybe that could give you pull in terms of the fact that players want to progress at Chelsea to then get a move, but you've just basically said we're not a serious club anymore. The only thing that they have to hang on to,
and we just realised.
No, but the only thing we have to hold on to is the fact that we have Enzo, who we signed, we have Caicedo that we signed, we have Cucurella, we have Palmer, we haven't sold any of them yet. We sold Madueke, but the grand scheme of it, he's a bum compared to the other players. That's the reality. I'm not saying Garnacho is better, but I'm just saying that's the reality. So if you retain those players, which is why I would like to think you got them to sign such long contracts, then that gives you enough time to then buy other players. So by the time those contracts are coming up and they look to renew, which is around when there's 3 years to go, then you've hopefully brought in other players and the squad looks more complete. You'd think that after signing whatever it is, a 9-10 year deal, after 5-6 years or whatever it is, because I think Palmer ultimately will probably stay for that long, then it's going to be crunch time. And I'd like to think we have a better squad. Now, I don't know if that's going to be the case, but I mean, that's the logical argument. And then you give players like Santos and Steve and Delap time to develop, and you just hope that it works. But I mean, that's all we've got.
That's a lot of hope.
We're finished,
Alex. That's a lot of hope. That's a lot of hope.
That's what the project is, isn't it? It's hope. But they say, the hope's what kills you. I mean, yeah, it is killing me. It's slowly killing me.
Put it this way. If 100 million bid comes in for Cole Palmer, they'll sell him. I know these. They
disagree. I don't think they will. Not for 100 mil. I don't think they would. I think they value Palmer at, I'd say,
close to 200,
triple what they paid for him.
Right now, Cole Palmer's worth 200. 100%. You're saying Cole Palmer's worth Neymar money? Absolutely
100%.
100%. In terms of value,
it's about what he's worth to us.
Yeah.
Jack Grealish was worth 100 million because he was Villa's man, right? It's That's about true. What he's worth to you, and Palmer is Chelsea's man. So it's a different argument. If you want to say somebody else that's, to be fair, I can't even make that argument with Enzo and Caicedo because we won't make money on them. But Palmer is a great example of a player that we've built up. He is the Chelsea project, if you want to call it that. It would be stupid to sell him for something that isn't ridiculous. It's like when we sold Hazard, we were pissed off. We were like, fair play, got a great price. Can't really complain with that. And if we did that with Palmer, and if he wants to go, I'll go, all right, well, he wanted to leave. He didn't want to be here.
I do think Palmer will stay. I think the rumours are just coming out at a bad time because obviously he's injured, he's not playing. I think it's all paper talk, but I do think we have to be very careful though, in terms of us as Chelsea, or trying to look after him as much as we can, because it might come to a point where his head might turn in the future. I'm not saying as at the moment, but it can. If that makes sense.
I think Enzo and Palmer's had them because they're not believing in the project. We've just got rid of Maresca, a manager that they probably respected and wanted to. They wanted him to be backed, etc., etc. Now he's gone. Now they're bringing another manager, very inexperienced manager. Are they going to really respect and buy into this new manager's ideas? Are they going to buy into the owner's ideas?
Kev?
Yep. Hello?
Yeah, I can hear
you. Yeah. It's touch and go if you're going to get Champions League or not. Man United have obviously overtaken us in the league. Yeah, I think everything.
He won't leave.
Everything comes down to us securing Champions League and see if we can go on a good cup run or bring us. That's it now.
Kev, just to piggyback off that, if we're not getting Champions League football year in year out, and 100 million bid comes in for Cole Palmer will want to leave. He'll want to walk out that door. And as much as Bodie, I am
100 million.
But the thing is, he'll create a fuss. He won't show up to training.
I don't think he's that kind of player.
No. I think he will, man. Listen, I didn't think Van Persie was that sort of player, but he was. He left. I didn't think Harry Kane was gonna ever leave Spurs. He walked out that door. Like
But
this
different
happens.
with Kane. I mean, Kane totally
I
different.
think it's a bit
Yeah,
different.
Kane gave everything. He gave his best
Yeah.
years to them. Yes, we know that. But listen, this will happen. Like if we're not in the Champions League, and if Cole Palmer's not in the Champions League year in year out, and City come knocking, he'll leave. If PSG come knocking, he'll leave. Like he wants to win trophies. This is a sport where, and if Chelsea are not careful, if the board are not careful, you will become a stepping stone club. Yes, like Ajax. Yes, like Dortmund, where you buy young players, young talented players, you build them up, and then you go fleece them for 100 mil. Like as much as that's great business, if you ask the Dortmund fans, they would have wanted to keep Robert Lewandowski. They would have wanted to keep Gundogan.
I mean, Dortmund is a club that needs those sales to function, though. I mean, they're a unique club in that sense. I mean, if they were winning regularly, then I suppose you could say they could take the hit, but I don't think they want to pay the big wages and all the rest of it. That's just not how.
It goes back to my point about
how they run.
Us being like super careful with how we deal with Cole Palmer in terms of how much the owners want trophies, or what they define Chelsea's success. Is it money or is it trophies? Or...
I don't think they want trophies, to be in all fairness. Like, what have they shown us that they want trophies? Like, you know when somebody wants trophies and you know when they don't. You knew the Cronkies didn't care for trophies for 9-10 years. They were like, forget about that. They only really got their act together recently. And when we have a team of like 7 sporting directors, practically 2 owners, like we're averaging 2 managers a season. Like, come on, boys. This is
what do you think about this, boys? What do you think about this? I don't know if do I need to zoom in on that?
Why do we have 2 owners?
Probably,
I just can't think about it.
So if we zoom in on that's the revenue basically for the 24-25 season. Madrid, Barca at the top, and we are, what are we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're 10th. Okay, so in the Prem we're behind Liverpool, City, Arsenal, Man United.
The Spurs' stadium is massive. Like,
but the crazy thing is, though, if you look at it, so we're falling behind massively on match days. I mean, that's just because of our stadium. Our broadcast revenue, if we don't get Champions League, will also go down, so we'll sink there. And our commercial revenue is not great either because we don't even have a front of shirt sponsor. There was something else that I saw as well. And it was all to do with the percentage of revenue that was spent on wages, and I was shocked. When I saw it. We're in like this, like 70%.
We're up there. It's because we have so many players. We have a lot of players on loan where we're still paying half their bloody wages that are never going to play for Chelsea.
Sterling, Disassi.
It's a joke. Like, these guys, they talk about being profitable all the time, and this is not profitable. You're burning, you're throwing money off the wall. Like, like if they were to get rid of 3 or 4 players that we don't need anymore and bring in an experienced player like a Bastoni and put him on 220k a week, you will save a lot more money in doing that than having all these 4 or 5 players on loan that you're never going to use. It just makes no sense. These guys have never watched a game of football in their life. I wish I could go into that sporting director's room and just literally, I'd make a presentation for them, and I still don't think I'd be able to change their mind.
The crazy thing is, though, like Villa, there's been stories about how tight Villa are in terms of the wages, because obviously, there's caps on this and FFP. We're ahead of them. We spend more on wages than all of these teams. I mean, Madrid and Barcelona are.
We've got nearly 100 players on the roster, mate. That's what it is.
Even Arsenal, we speak about how much money Arsenal spend, and they spend less on wages than we do. In terms of, but then again, this comes into the money we bring in, right? We bring in less money, so of course the wages to revenue is going to be closer. If you want to compete, it's difficult. So I mean, as much as I want to criticize what we're doing, actually, it was a bit of an eye opener when I saw the amount that we're putting in and also the revenues. But the revenues were just idiots, because you guys are private equity and you can't even raise the funds that are needed to run a football club. You don't have a front of shirt sponsor. You haven't had it for 3 years. You've missed out on at least, let's just look at this, at least 120 mil. At least, And that's
I'll
money
say
that's
it's
been
more. I'll
poured
say
in.
it's more because wait, when they first came in, who we were 3, isn't it? We were 3 for 1 year, 2 years. We had 3. Then after that, who do we have? Infinite Athlete? Was it Infinite Athlete, boys? Did we have a trouble? Yeah, like who after that? We had that Damak deal for 7 games. Like it's just it's abysmal. This is abysmal by every single metric.
I don't know, man. I think it's ridiculous. I just honestly, these stats really shock me. And I mean, if I was to ask you off the back how much Chelsea is spending on wages, or let's just say wages to revenue, I would not expect it to be higher than
Manchester United,
than a Man United or an Arsenal. I wouldn't expect it to be higher than a Man City. I wouldn't expect it. So
because you've got
these guys,
the players on the roster. They got the signing too many players, and just what Disassi, he's collecting wages. By the show, he's collecting wages.
His whole contract is 20 million. Like I think it's 7 to 8, 9 years or something like that. It's 20 million. Sterling,
this doesn't help.
My word, Sterling. Listen, I don't blame that guy for sitting out in it, bro. If you're giving me 350k to sit on my ass, I'm taking that every week. Listen, I don't hate the player. Don't hate the player. Hate the game in it. Like he could have got it. He had so many chances to move, but my word, where are you ever going to see that sort of money again? That is stupid money. Like even
he's
when
he's basically using Chelsea's money, and he started his own football academy in London. That's what he's doing.
Hey, fair play to him. At least he's helping the next generation. I mean,
you don't even ask boys. You know, without any of his like brand deals or anything, he's on about 350k a week. So straight up, even if you take 50% of away to tax, 125k. Like that is stupid. That is like, oh my god, flipping out.
175,000, not 125.
Yeah. Sorry. 175. Quick maths.
Right. Well, I just thought it was crazy, guys. Honestly, I thought it was ridiculous. That for me is still stunning. But I mean, that's the thing about United is at least the Glazers have this money maker. Chelsea, we're not built like that. We've never been a money maker. We've been the money. We've been the cash grabbers. Give us the money. We're not going to give you anything. And now,
but the thing is, we used to win a lot of trophies and always get top 4. So hence why we were able to deal with Stamford Bridge. Like if we weren't like Roman tried moving us, but the fact that we were getting top 4 consistently every year, we were winning league titles, we were winning Champions Leagues. You're always in the Champions League. You generate a lot of money. Like I don't think these owners know how much money you're going to make if you're consistently in the Champions League.
Obviously, with a transfer ban as well. So.
Like, correct me if I'm wrong, boys, but what was it? 04, we went to the semi-finals. We lost to Monaco. 05, we went all the way to the semi-finals.
Semi-final against semi-final.
Yeah. Semi-final. Was it 04 and 05? We got to the semi-finals. One against Liverpool, one against
Monaco.
No. We went out against Monaco in the semis,
and then we went out to Liverpool in the
quarters. Went out in the semis against Monaco. The season after,
yes,
we got to the quarters again.
No, we went to the semis that year.
No, we went out in the quarters against Barca.
Okay. And then
the season after that, we got to the final, lost against Man United. Penalties.
And then we got to the semi-final against Barca. Remember the robbery? Like 2010, round of 16, we went out early to Inter. But like, if you're constantly getting to deep stages in the Champions League, you're going to make a lot of money. If you're always in the Champions League, you're going to make a lot of money. Like these owners, if only somebody could tell them that the best way to be profitable is to be successful on that pitch. That's the best way.
No, you're absolutely right in that sense. Boys, we'll wrap it up with our Crystal Palace predictions. What are we thinking going into that game? Because I think this is a great time to play them. They've lost Gurhey. Looks like they're going to lose Pateta as well. Their manager doesn't seem to care anymore what happened to them. I'm pretty sure, like, when he was asked about the next Crystal Palace manager, Glasner said, I don't care. I don't give a shit. I think he actually said, I don't care. So,
getting that in this end of the season.
Wait, is his contract up or is he agreed to leave?
Yeah.
Well, he's just not going to renew. He's not going to extend. They would love him to stay, but I wouldn't want to stay at a club that I don't feel like I'm getting backed. And by the way, I think he's very much appreciated at Palace, but there's being appreciated. And then there's also, the club changing everything about their model to accommodate for you as a manager, which we have seen from Napoli, to be fair. Napoli have bent the knee for Conte, but very unusual that managers get that. So I think it's the best
Palace
thing
are
for both
going on
sides.
a downward trajectory now. I think they obviously built themselves up to stay in the Premier League. Then they've gone from survivalist to like European to obviously win the FA Cup, and I think they're just going to go like that now. I think.
That as a not replace. Well, that Pino they replaced him with is not a bad player, but he's not as a. And I think that knockout
Adam
against
Morton to lose as well.
That's completely took the soul out of the club. To lose against Macclesfield, you know, local team down the road here, and they're like, I'm saying, I can't believe they knocked out Palace. Wow, I can't see them being the team that they have been the last few seasons. Adam Wharton as well, obviously been linked to the link away. Mark Gui losing the manager. This is the time to play. Alex, you're right. This is the time to play Palace. And the thing is, if we don't turn them over the weekend, that's more of a problem for us. So I can see us beating them pretty convincingly. I don't know about yourselves.
This is the best time to ever play Palace. Like I was scared about this Palace fixture a month ago. I said, oh my God, we've got Brentford, who are our bogey team. Then we've got Champions League, and then we've got Crystal Palace. It looks good on paper, but these are always the games where we get maybe a loss and a draw, or two draws and a loss. But this is the best ever time to play Palace, and I'm so happy that everything in South London has just gone to shits.
You know what's mad though is we're saying all this and then
Croydon, not South London.
It'd be so typical as well, wouldn't it? But I'm going to go into it with a positive mindset. I'm going to go. It's my birthday weekend.
I think Esteban's playing that. Hey, happy birthday, man!
And it's your birthday
on the 24th, mate.
Oh, wicked!
Jan.
Guess how old I turn on the 24th?
45.
28.
24, mate.
You've been 24 for about 10 years, bro. Fuck
I was going to say, are you not 45 or something, Alex?
Yeah, fucking hell,
and
mate.
it just stays the same age, bro.
Mate, I'll tell you what, you must get stick from the kids though about how old you are, Kev, when you're coaching the kids.
I'm there for granddad now, bro. I'm proud of it though.
You got to own. I see. I'm not there yet. Maybe in my 30s, I might.
I'm a couple of years from being a granddad. Literally,
mate, I'll tell you this, right? So I was out on New Year's Eve, so I'm getting all these notifications from Maresca. Me and Rachel were in a bloody club, mate, and at like 1 a.m., whatever it was, tap on the shoulder. It's a bloody girl that I coach, and I've coached her since she was like 14 or whatever, and now she's 18, 19, and she's in the fucking club with me. I was like, what the hell is going on? I'm too old for this.
Nah, it's worse when you see your mates' kids out. That when I was back in Warsaw, I literally used to be like, and I'll go back to my mum's. I see them in the cars driving them like, wow, I need to get the mate. I'm too old.
That's how you know you're old, Kev.
I need to get my pension sorted, man. Yeah.
Boys, I was sitting East Upper, was it for the Everton game? Yeah, where we won comfortably.
Yeah.
I was speaking to some of the guys. They're like, "How long you been coming here?" We just chatting, and then they were talking about some of the players' ages. I was like, "Oh, Reese is my age." He goes, one of the guys said, "How old are you?" I said, "I'm 25." He goes, "Fuck me, you're an unk." I said, "Oh my God, how 25 is unks now? What's going on?"
Now you got to be, well, how old's Tossin? 27, mate? So
yeah,
you've got a couple of years.
He's my age, Tossin's my age, man. Yeah.
How are we being called unks? Like, I am an uncle. Actually, technically, I am an uncle. I do have a niece, but
you lot are just kids, man. All right. And this is it. When it gets to this time, I'm starting yawning that, but you got to understand, kids. You know, like I'm old now. I'm touching 40s and that. So do excuse me if I start like zoning out. It's past my bedtime. yeah. But
you got any good stories, Darmesh? I thought it's like past the potato at the moment, isn't it? Past the parcel.
No stories, man. I just go to watch Chelsea, go home. That's it, man. That's literally, yeah. And then sometimes I play on the fan cams. That's it. I just spoke to a guy in Tesco. Funny enough, I just spoke to a really old Chelsea fan in Tesco today. I saw him wear the jacket. We're by the cheese section. I was just looking at some cheese. I love cheese, but
mate, love a bit of cheese. Yeah. What cheese were you looking at?
Cathedral City, man. You know me, man.
Okay, yeah.
But sure, yeah. And then I saw a guy in the Chelsea jacket. I was like, yeah, good win yesterday. He's like, he was a really old guy, a really nice guy, to be fair. He was like, yeah, I've been going to Chelsea for like years and years and stuff. I met Roman Abramovich. I remember going up to him in a box seat I was in once and stuff, and like his 2 bodyguards there, and Roman Bryant was saying hello, like that. And yeah, you asked me how old I was. I was like, yeah, I'm 27, 28, been going to Chelsea for years and years, but yeah, got no stories really too bad. Just rock ups. Hopefully cheer us on to win. Appear on Chelsea fan TV here and there as well. See the boys. That's it. Then go home, man. That's it.
But like this, before we end it, I went to my first game at Chelsea before all you 3 was even born. I'll put that into perspective.
That's mad. Fair play,
That's
man.
mad. That's mad. You know, the other day, yeah.
Was there colour on TVs at that point, Kev?
Alex,
Was there colour on the TVs?
Oh, shut up, mate. Fucking
hey, Alex, you know, the other day I was speaking to someone, and someone told me, what's his name? Jacob. He's like 13 or 14.
Yeah.
I didn't process it. It took me a while. Then I processed it. I said, so he missed the South Africa World Cup in 2010. He missed the Moscow final. He missed like that Inter team. He missed that Barcelona team. He missed the Spanish like generation that came through. Like he missed the whole story, boys.
He missed all of it, mate. I'm seeing a lot of memes about if you were born, well, basically in like the 2020s or whatever, like you're just walking into the finished article. Like everything's already been built. Everything's done. I don't really know what else is next.
And this is why I look at some of these fan cams now, because I do watch a lot of it when I got time on. And some of the takes I'm seeing, like Alex, for instance. Oh yeah, Willian. Nessa's better than Willian, but you were still in your nappies when Willian was playing, bro. I know you was, weren't you?
Nah,
you was a baby.
Mate,
we spoke Willian my whole career,
10 years ago. You was fucking 14, bro. You was a baby, bro.
Right. That was my first year as a season ticket holder.
So,
that was my first year.
So some of the takes I'm seeing, I'm just like, kids.
Hey, Kev, let me tell you something, yeah? Kev, let me tell you something. You know, when I was in primary school in the 2000s, yeah? I was in a primary school in West London. All these waste mans. Do you know what they had? They were all Arsenal reps. They were all Manchester United. They were all those fans. There was 2 or 3 Chelsea fans in a primary school in West London. Can you just like wrap your heads around it? I don't remember our first league title. The second league title, I think you will definitely remember it, Kev, where like William Gallas cut in and took a shot and then he hit a top bin.
Oh yeah, of course I do, man.
That's my first ever memory of Chelsea. Going into it, going down the line. I remember somebody said, "Oh, when we lost the final in Moscow, I went to primary school." Somebody said, "Haha, see, you've only ever won 2 Premier League titles. You got to your final. That's it. You're never gonna win it. You're never gonna do anything." Fast forward, I get to year 8. We're in the Champions League. We're in the Champions League final. We finally win it. That was the greatest day of my life. I went to secondary school, with the Chelsea shirt underneath my white shirt. Underneath it.
I think to be fair on that.
Hey, but you boys wasn't it? You boys are probably 2-3 when John Terry done the slip.
No, I was 8. I was grown. I was 8. I remember.
I was born in 98.
I was 8.
Yeah,
I was 8. I was born 2000.
So that's grown to you, 8.
But you can remember stuff. You can remember stuff.
You was babies. I was in secondary school then. See, I was getting sick.
I was 11, I think.
I'm from Birmingham.
Let's wrap it up, boys. We can reminisce off stream. We can reminisce off stream.
I'm gonna go 2-0 Chelsea, by the way, for Chelsea Palace. That's
2-0 Chelsea. Do you know? I'm with you. I'm gonna say 2-1. 2-1 to Chelsea.
2-0 Chelsea. I think Liam Delap will have some joy in that game. I think Delap will get one.
I'm going 3-0. I think we're gonna walk all over them.
Yeah.
I'll take all of them. I'll take every result. Clean sheet would be nice as well. Listen, big up to everyone. Really appreciate you coming on, Dharmesh. First time in a long time. Hopefully, many more appearances as well. I know you like a late one as well.
Yeah.
Good to see Saeed back in the building as well. Will I see you on Sunday?
I'm going to be away for 2 weeks. Then I'm going to be back in the country. I'm going to be away for quite some time, and then I'm going to be back. Come back to games.
Lucky for some.
Say that again.
Lucky for some.
Yeah, man. I haven't left the country since 2023, man. I need a break. I need to get out of this doom and gloom.
Hey, big up to you, man. Enjoy it, honestly. And Kev, as always, you managed to. Well, I say as always, you managed to stay awake.
Bro, I've been staying up pretty late recently, man. I've just been kicking. Yeah.
What time are you finishing training these days? Is it 9 at most days?
Bro.
Quite late, isn't it?
Bro, my schedule at the minute is mad, Manic. 9 some days, 10 some days. Here we go. Yeah, late.
There you go. Hey, listen, big up to everyone that's watched as well. I hope you've enjoyed the stream. And smash the like button as well if you haven't already subscribed to the channel. You can also check out okjersey.com if you want to get some very, very cheap football shirts. And if you want to get them even cheaper, use the code CFTV for 8% off. There's a QR code on screen as well as a link below in the description. Anyway, all the best, guys. We will catch up very soon. Enjoy the rest of your week and up the Chelsea.